Hi guys, I'm going to do something different right now. I'm going to read an essay that I wrote for my English course titled, Is Too Much Technology a Good Thing or a Bad Thing? And I think this is a pretty interesting read, so I decided to share this with you guys. Feel free to reply to it however you want, argue it, agree with it, just tell me what you think. The main point of this essay is to compare and contrast the pros and cons of technology, and to show the health risks of excess technology. Technology is in certain ways a double-edged sword in the sense that many good things come from technology as well as many bad things come from it. Millions of people log on to the social networking site Facebook per month, but why? How does technology grip us in its intangible bind, and how can we break free of it? There is some unknown appeal that we find in it that we love, but cannot explain. An aesthetic individual might say, but without technology, we would not be able to survive. Where would we find food, shelter, and clothing? Well, when you think of it like this, technology isn't just computers. It's literally the knowledge of the interrelation of life, society, and environment. Our daily lives mainly revolve around computers, so when we think of technology, we generally associate it with computers or television. How would we survive without iPhones, laptops, cameras, televisions, radio, etc.? Well, the same way most people have for years. They rely as a community. America is a really isolated country, in a sense that everybody kind of keeps to themselves and labels each other as an individual, instead of as a whole. Instead of spreading out and building more and more things, we need to invite each other into what we already have. And not only that, just be happy with what we got. Technology in the medical field has greatly affected us for the better. For example, machines make certain operations safer, fewer risks involved in complicated surgeries and replacements, as well as prosthetics are made more realistic and durable than in the previous years. With all the good things that technology has to offer medically, there are ways in which it can prove to harm or even become fatal. If a machine is practicing a complicated surgery and it powers down or malfunctions, it could be too late for the patient. Many people would argue with my last paragraph and maybe say something along the lines of, but many of our hospitals are reliable and have the best of the best working there, which in my opinion is very true, and this essay isn't opposing the workers, it's opposing the machines. Me being an accident-prone person, I've been to the hospital many times. I stayed overnight last year for surgery and was very pleased on how everything went down, and by the time I woke up I was in a wheelchair on my way out. I love the workers in the medical field because, for the most part, they do everything to help without causing as much pain as possible. Computers have been around for years, and in the early 90s and late 80s, many families started owning personal computers. Today, everybody has one, and some, me included, own laptops as well. Many people rarely find information in books in the library anymore, and if you do, it's because you either like reading, me included, or your instructor makes you. The main demographic that visits the library anymore are people on computers, or people waiting to get on computers. But what's so bad about computers? For one thing, extended use is known to give people eye strain, headaches, and even dizziness. Another thing is social networking websites like MySpace and Facebook. Don't get me wrong, I have a problem for each of these, but when does communicating with friends and family become an addiction? People get addicted to computers like junkies get addicted to heroin and crack. It's the truth. Computers have so much to offer for us that we'll spend years of our lives in front of a plastic screen. If we keep this up, one day computers will be the dominant species. This is a fairly easy argument for someone to make because people can argue with almost everything I mentioned. For instance, I said it can be an addiction, but many people think that it's harmless fun in a way to unwind, in which I'd have to agree. After a long stressful day, I usually plug in my laptop and listen to music. I too have Facebook and use it to communicate with distant family members and friends I haven't seen in years, but it can be harmful and as destructive as any drug out there. We all want everything at our own convenience, risk-free. Unfortunately, with such convenience, many come many risks to your health, social skills, and behavior. Technology is not all that bad, though. For instance, it provides safe practices in the medical field, helps farmers with determining when rain will come, and an easy alternative to communicate with distant relatives and close friends. Technology is, in my opinion, not a deadly thing, but what we do with it and how we use it turns it into something deadly. For example, a man can build a robot to learn from it or use it to destroy humanity. It's all in the hands of the inventor. Thanks for listening.